Hey, I am Miss Jones, aka Jonesy, and welcome to Pink Jams.
Calling on ladies, calling on ladies, calling on ladies.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome and introducing my guest this week on Pink Jams, episode 4, Miss Syleena Johnson.
Yay. Hey, girl.
Yay.
I'm so happy about this for you.
Thank you.
This is the bomb.
Thank you so much. Now, I have to tell you, I prepared.
Okay.
I prepared with questions, and
Okay.
I forgot them.
Okay.
Because I'm momming, and I'm, so
Doing what you got to do.
This will be
But you're a
freestyling.
professional. You've been doing this for over 2-3 decades.
Yeah.
This is easy money.
Plus, I'm interested in you, and I remember some of the questions were surrounding information that I did not know about you. As far as, was your mom really the first black female police commissioner?
Yes.
Wow, sis! That's a big
She
deal.
was. Yeah, she was. Absolutely. She was the first black police commissioner, city of Harvey, but everywhere in the United States. There had never been another black female police commissioner, so that's a big deal for her.
And after
And
I
in the
got that
world, Black
information,
history.
right? Okay, Black History Month.
Okay.
So then when I got that information, I said, maybe this explains why Syleena's demeanor is really no nonsense. No, seriously, you're very about your business all the time. So do you think it's because of your upbringing? Do you think it's because of geographically being raised in Chicago?
I think it's a combination of all, but I can attribute a lot of that to my mom. You know, her being that strong, capable figure, even in the way that I parent. You know what I'm saying? It's very much the same. My mother was she was the lady you could call to fix anything. If anything was messed up, she can call to make it right. You know what I'm saying? So
that's a lot to carry.
you see what I'm saying? And I watched my dad be an entrepreneur. Our parents were like entrepreneurs. So my mother's a politician, my dad's an entrepreneur, recording artist, so we didn't really see too much of a 9-to-5 model. You see what I'm saying? So we all grew up under business people, CEO like type business people. So I think we just all, when I say we, I mean my sisters and I, we kind of adapted that same stance. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, that was your model.
Yeah.
Now, a natural, homegrown, in-house model.
Correct. And then being raised in the music business under men didn't help.
Right.
And being an athlete under male coaches and things of that nature, it didn't really allow for a lot of feminine, not to say that women who are feminine are not no nonsense, but it didn't allow for a lot of relaxation. I don't know if that's the...
No, I feel you. I understand what that looks like.
You had to constantly be,
Do you feel like that has cost you anything?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I feel like, and I often contemplate and go back to moments in my career that I think because when one good thing happens, okay, well, what we got to do now to get to the next? Okay, well, that's good. Now, how much work we got to do to get to the next? And I did not enjoy a lot of
You weren't present because you didn't have the luxury.
I didn't have the luxury. It was constant moving. Oh, okay, we did that. Let's get to the next. Okay, that ain't working. Let's work on this. That ain't working. Constant. And there's so many things now when you think back on it, like, okay, I might have been in a place at that time in my life, but you really was turning up at that point, or you really should have really sat in that moment.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I lost a lot of celebrations that I should have been having.
So the lesson here is, for those of you watching, men and women, pay attention to when you're not being present because you're constantly chasing that job promotion, when you're constantly chasing that wedding date,
Absolutely.
when you're constantly chasing, if only once I get there, then I can. It's not just because, life's too short, you never know, but because it's real. Sometimes you don't get another chance.
Sometimes you don't. And life don't care.
Doesn't care.
It
keeps
moving
going.
forward.
Yeah. And you deserve it.
You deserve it.
You deserve it, sis.
That part.
We deserve it.
We deserve it.
People.
As people. To be able to say, and you know what's interesting too? Because you really can't be hard on yourself about it. Sometimes the circle that you're in, the environment you're in, doesn't allow for you to deserve it.
Right.
Because especially as an entertainer or the person in your family, you know, the one, the radio, the artist, the singer, whatever, oh, you'll be all right. You everybody likes you. You have a gift. You don't need rest. You don't need relaxation. You don't need anything
You'll figure it out like you always do.
Or they'll put you in a predicament where they want you to feel like to suppress you, so that they can feel at the same level as you, so that they can communicate and interact with you. Because they feel like if you're at a different level in their mind, they can't communicate and interact with you. And so what you'll do in return.
Or they can't manipulate you.
Correct.
They don't even not necessarily want to interact. They want to manipulate you.
They want to be able to control.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so what we do as artists, subconsciously, we start to suppress ourselves as well to make others feel
I call it minimizing your bigness.
Yes.
Minimize your greatness. I did that in a relationship and with my oldest son's father. Every time I was excited about starting a new business or I came up with a new idea, he always would come up with the 9 reasons why I wouldn't work. And I'm already untethered in the world because I don't have a mom, I don't have a dad. So here this man is who I feel is maybe patterned after my dad in that my dad worked really hard and Jalen's dad worked really hard, but the other qualities were not there. But I saw a symbol and I gave all my trust in that and was like, oh, you're probably right. Oh, he's just trying to help me not have too much on my plate.
Right.
When in fact, he was just trying to slow me down so he could manipulate and control.
Or he could stay where he's at.
Or stay where he's at. But it got to the point where he even asked why I wouldn't let him manage me like Wendy Williams was letting her husband Kevin.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no, that was a conversation.
And that doesn't work. And it's not because of Wendy Williams and her husband did not work. It really is a conflict of interest. And I see it happening in a multitude of artists that we could probably go down the line if we wanted to, of different artists that their husbands and are their managers and all that. It just doesn't work.
It doesn't work, and I don't want work moving, like as a grown woman now, who's probably lived more than half of her life already, I don't want to bring work into my love.
Right. Say that again. Because you don't want to have to work in your love.
I don't
want
want
to work
that.
for it, or you don't have to work in it.
I don't want that. Do you ever feel like you don't want to have to, certain things I just don't want to have to do?
Well, for me, I'm inundated with my job and career. So I'd like to come home and be in somebody else's job and career. I want to have two things. Like my husband is into sports. He's an athlete. He's a retired basketball player. When I come home, it's sports, basketball, fun. I get to detach.
Got you.
And, decompress from what I've just gone through. And I don't want to have to come home and then we still talking about music and what happened on the road and what that person did and that person. And then two, I want to be able to share my anguishes with a person that's not biased.
Right.
My husband will be able to say, well, then why didn't you do that? And he'll give you a better perspective because he's not engaged, he's not in it.
He's not in it, understanding. The reason why we couldn't do this is because
he's having his own opinions and messing up, No, he's just going to tell you what he feels based off the love that he has, the true love he has for his wife. Because it's not tainted by any other, well, maybe we should have done or maybe we should have this.
No, it's pure and common sense.
It's pure.
How long have you been married?
This year will be 17 years married.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And I think you wanted to say, but how many years together?
We've been together 19 years.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Did you know, sometimes people say, when you know, you know. Did you know when you first met him that was going to be my husband?
No. I did not. But he said he knew that I was going to be his wife.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what he had said. But I did not know, as a matter of fact, I was tired of athletes because I had been dating a lot of athletes and I hadn't been with anyone for like 5 months, just trying to get my life, get myself together. And then here he come along and I was like, all right. I was just very nonchalant, like, okay, well, we can go, And then when we went out, I was like, he's different. He courts. He likes to court.
Oh my
people.
God,
Yeah.
the art of courting.
Yeah, like calling you in the daytime and saying stuff like, do you want to go to lunch?
Right.
Instead of dinner. Or can I come over after 12?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that was a thing back in our 20s. So he courted me. And that's when I kind of like I wasn't, he was always handsome, but I wasn't in love at first sight. You see somebody, you'd be like, oh my God. I
But
can't
that's
wait till the
stupid
call.
anyway.
It is.
That's
it's not
stupid.
real.
It's not real.
Yeah.
And then you wind up having children, and then you see when things get thick, Now you seeing how he melts down in crisis, or how he ain't what his real ideals about a woman's place is.
Correct.
So don't fall. You can't.
Yeah, I let him quit, and I think maybe as women, and I know this, nobody's gonna like this. Men are gonna hate this. They're gonna hate it, but it's the truth. Women, we have to kind of act like we're not interested in the beginning.
It's a game.
It is.
You gotta play it though.
You gotta play it because men, in my experience, and just talking to different men, they don't want somebody they know they can get.
They've got to chase.
They want to chase. This is their nature.
Yeah.
They have to
They're
hunt.
hunters.
They're hunters.
I know.
So when you're constantly, and then I saw this post. I forgot what the lady's name was, whatever. But she was like, women who do a whole bunch for men, I should have sent it to you. I'm going to send it to you. Women who constantly do for men and constantly all up in their face doing everything. Men don't necessarily take to that because she said, what you need to do, she said, you will never really get the interest of him. She said, when you do for yourself around him, like self-care, your hair and everything, like taking care of yourself and pouring more into yourself, having your me time and all that stuff. When a man comes into your space and he sees that you do a lot of that, she says he finds value in that. Like, well, if she's going to do all that for herself, then that's how she sees herself. And so he'll see you how you see you. And I was like, that's deep. So if on the flip side, if you're constantly pouring into him, you don't value yourself.
You're denying.
So why should he?
That is a cheers to
Girl,
that.
I was like, that's a very interesting
real.
perspective.
The only thing is, again, you have to make sure that you're not so head over heels that you just fall into the pattern.
Right.
You have to be cognizant of that, right?
In the beginning. And then once you realize that, okay, this is the one, because once you have that moment where it's like, y'all inseparable. You know how it is when you have that one moment where y'all inseparable. You don't care what's going on outside.
You putting your friends a voicemail.
Right, everybody. You can sit in the house, watch TV, and eat popcorn on the couch and not care what's going on, and you both enjoy that.
Yeah.
Then I feel like you can start letting your guards down and doing whatever. Or when you're married, you could do whatever you need to. You know, you can pamper your man, pour into your man, and all that cool stuff because you're married.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But before that, when that lady said that, I was like, that's a good point. Because I feel like women, we overdo to try to get them.
Because we're performing. Because
yeah.
From our first days in nursery school, they read Cinderella, where all the women are, by design,
one prince
fighting over one.
That is the conscious mindset. Which is why we will fight over a man.
Right,
but
because we've been taught.
Us.
No.
They're not doing it.
They go have a beer. They might fight over other stuff, but never a woman.
No.
But we've been taught. Even Rapunzel, let down your...
Right. And they've been taught bros before hoes.
See?
That's what they've been taught. That's their mantra.
Not necessarily sure I read that book, but...
I'm just saying.
No, you're right.
That's what they run around here saying.
Right.
Bros before... That's what they run around... That's their mantra.
So if you had to give a piece of advice to... Because we talked before we started filming about... right now, the biggest story trending is Wendy Williams, the docuseries. And I know you haven't watched it as of yet. But I want this interview to be meaningful because, again, you're someone, your voice is a very strong, thought-provoking voice. Your lyrics.
Thanks, Jonesy.
No, and I told you this before. Like, I get no nonsense with you, and when you speak, you are not just talking to hear yourself talk. So I want you to share some wisdom as we go along because I feel like we don't have the luxury, and I'm not saying black people, white people, society does not have the luxury to take these stupid chances with our future democracy, with our mental health, with our physical health. So what would you say in looking for a mate, because you have a successful marriage, you've been in successful relationships, so obviously you're doing things right.
Well,
some gems
for our marriage.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying, right? You know, this is an interesting question you ask, because I be having conversations with my single friends all the time, and we get into it. And I don't like to chastise them, and I like to really understand and listen to them, because it's real. There are a lot of single, successful, beautiful, amazing women out here, and we just be really on the phone talking about, like, wow, you know what I'm saying? And I think there's so many components. We'll be here all day, but just on the nugget side, in terms of marriage, I think people need to really understand that marriage, first of all, doesn't have to be the end goal. It does not have to be the end goal. It is not the end all to be all.
Pay attention.
It is beautiful. It is fantastic.
Even if you're fooling yourself, and in the back of your head, you know that you hoping to be a bride one day.
You could be a bride. Go put on a white dress and invite your family and friends and just go act
that's
like
not.
it.
No, that's not real.
Because that's what it is.
They want that day. I wanted that day. That's why I married the fool I married.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, when you take all of that off, so my advice would be this. I think, and thinking back on when I got married, because I got married twice. So I think when you actually get on the altar, what we don't take into consideration is that this person that I'm marrying today, he will not be this person in 2 years. And then he will not be that person in 3 years, and 4 years, and in 5 years, and in 6 years. Because people grow.
And you want them to grow.
They change. So when you marry someone, or you decide to marry somebody, what you really need to be trying to figure out is this a person that I can change with? Not a person I can be with that's gonna love me, but I'm gonna change too. You're not gonna be the same in 2 years. You're not gonna be the same. I don't even eat the same foods I did in 2 to 3 years. You see what I'm saying? Right. But when we get on the altar, we marry that person that's standing in front of us right there. Even the vows, the person that's standing in front of us. No, this is just who y'all are right now. But are you willing to change with this person? He might change to the point where he doesn't have a sex drive, or she doesn't have a sex drive, or they don't like the way your hair is, or whatever the case may be. But will you be able to have the communication to change and accept? For instance, what if you marry a woman that's like, oh, I want to be a housewife, right? But 5 years from now, she as being a housewife, she done created a business in the kitchen. So now she wanted to make a hair business because she done made some hair stuff for the babies that's been working, and now been down to the social media and see she could turn it into a business. That's a different woman you have now.
Right, so that requires a level of maturity. So I guess you have to make sure that the person, even knowing that everybody's going to change, that there are levels of decency and character at the root.
Yeah, but you have to be willing to change with that person, their goals, their dreams, their minds change, their mind shifting. But then you have to decide.
That's that better for worse part.
Correct.
Gotcha.
But then you have to determine what's the stuff that's a deal breaker. Oh, he gotta believe in God. He gotta, you gotta have your basics, your basics. But we need to, and that's why I think some women, y'all ain't gonna like this either. Y'all struggle because I know we was told to write this list and go by everything and pray to the Lord for everything that's down to the list.
Now it's a vision board. Sorry.
Now it's a vision board. Because it's just not as realistic. You got to take some of them and say, what are the deal breakers? Stick to them. And then build the standard as it goes.
Gotcha.
And it's another thing I was telling my friend Chanel, because Chanel does a show called Relationships Matter, and we were talking about standards, and it was so good, I forgot. It was so good. One day I'll remember it. But it was good. But it was real good. It was about like standards and what's something that we expect from men. It's setting standards and boundaries.
Oh yeah, boundaries.
So we have standards, but not boundaries.
Why is that, you think?
Because standards are outer. Standards are the car, the money, the clothes, his looks, all the aesthetics.
Okay.
He needs to have this, he need to have that, he need to have good credit, he need to do this, he had to love his mama, he got to do all this stuff.
Yeah.
These are the standards. He can't call me at this time, he got to pick me up at this time. Instead, if you have boundaries, Don't matter who come in this area. You already have the boundaries set for you. So we're too busy setting standards and not boundaries. So guess what happens? Oh, you find a man that's got the car, the clothes. He got all the standards. But he come in, baby, and the guards is down.
Yeah.
So now you have to do whatever you can to keep that man. Because guess what, this man with the car and the clothes and the business and all that stuff, he got boundaries. And now he has standards that you have to keep up that probably exceed your boundaries. But what you do is you allow him to come in, and then with all your standards, you're excited because he's 6'5", you know, he's 6'5" and he got muscles.
And he's chocolatey.
And he fine, but he talks to you crazy. Or he's gone all the time. But if you set boundaries instead of standards, your boundaries will attract the right
I love
man.
that. I love that.
Right?
I'm
we
not.
had a good conversation about, I was just like, that's it.
Standards.
No standards.
Versus
Set your boundaries.
Yeah.
And they will attract the man with the right standards.
And you don't have to be evil.
No.
Yeah, no.
But
you hit the
boundaries
word
are for
boundaries, and it's, you know what I mean?
Right, but boundaries are for everyone. Boundaries are for anybody. Oh, no, I don't do that. No, I don't smoke. No, I don't drink. No, I don't do that. These are my boundaries. Or I will not be talked to this way. I will not be treated this way. And it's not even something that you have to say. It's how you move.
Yeah.
And they'll read the room.
Yeah,
because men are not
hopefully.
dumb. They're not dumb. They act dumb, but they not. They're actually very smart, and they watch us. And when they see the certain things that they don't like, they're like dogs. They sniff. They can smell fear.
Yeah.
So when they sense the things that they don't like, and they might stick around if you're that girl that's giving, because they're definitely takers by nature. So they'll take, but if you have not presented yourself as someone worthy of giving to, and when I say presented yourself as worthy, I mean if you have not set your boundaries and stood on them, if you have not stood on business
Right.
for yourself.
I think that's how you do the dance.
You see what I'm saying? If you don't stand on business.
And it's hard. It's hard.
Very
We're saying a lot of you're saying a lot of things, and I'm agreeing. But it's real. It's hard because
very
you
hard.
gotta constantly be mindful of these things, or you'll fall into the trick bag and be in love with someone for the wrong things.
Yes.
And
now you're jammed up.
you don't even know who it is you really have, or why he's not talking to you correctly. It's because of how you
Correct.
didn't
You,
put
what
that
you've
boundary.
allowed. Exactly.
Right.
And guess what? You're still doing it inside of a marriage. I'm doing it in 17 years still. I'm still setting boundaries because I'm changing. So I have new things that are now a boundary.
Did you guys ever come to a point where you were thinking of breaking up, or things got bad?
Yes. We had times where things got bad. When he retired from basketball.
I've heard about.
Yeah. He didn't, it's a real thing. That mental anguish and depression. If someone has been the head of your life and household, and then they lose everything financial in a blink of an eye, as a man who is used to taking care of everybody and everything around y'all.
Or it's supposed to be, wink, wink, you were supposed to take care of us.
Okay. But on the flip side, we have to look at what that did to him. Of course he wants to, take care of his family. So having to see me step up at 38 weeks pregnant probably damaged him greatly. It probably took him out of here.
Even though, because he wasn't present to all the greatness that he had done. It didn't matter. It didn't matter how great of a life he had provided for you.
Come on, somebody.
It all, in that one moment, all those years of him providing.
That was linked to his value.
Yeah.
So he didn't know how much of a great man he was
outside
from basketball and paying for people and giving.
Right. We're going to sit in it for a minute, because this is how it relates to us.
Correct.
Whatever the career is, or whatever it is that you're bringing, don't attach your value to your gifts. You're bigger than your gifts.
Your gifts make room for you. They make room for you.
Right. To have comfort, to enjoy life, to do things.
They're gifts.
They're gifts.
If I give you this, then you can put it in your house to make it look pretty. But when you leave the house, this ain't you.
Right.
You still you.
Unless I sell this every time.
Every time you come to the house,
Did
look
you
at my
notice the flowers? Syleena Johnson gave me these.
Then it's like, yeah, I know Jonesy, the one that's always talking about the flowers.
Right.
That's your identity.
Now that's pay attention. Pay attention. No, I have people that, and I don't want to say the names, but outside of their occupations, they don't know who they are, and they don't understand why they don't have friends and why family doesn't even want to come around them is because all you are is your job and your occupation. And once that conversation gets redundant and we can finish your sentences because we know what you did at the office, we know you have nothing.
I'll tell you, I'll confess, I was one of those people. Mm-hmm. And not to the point where I exhausted others because I had a low self-esteem about my career because other people around me and in this industry made me feel like all the time that I wasn't popular or that I wasn't as good as I thought I was inside. So I began to start to believe that too, and that's what kind of started the whole no rest, just keep working, and eventually, you know what I'm saying? And I lost myself in that. And what's very crazy is when I started being a talk show host, I started to find my voice of this talking, of this communicating. I've been a storyteller, I write records, so I've been using my music to kind of
tell your story and communicate and get it off.
Because that's the only time someone even wants to listen to us as artists.
On records.
Because we're dumb.
We're supposed to be dumb artists. Just let them go sing the song.
Correct. It's very shut up and dribble.
Right, I was going to say, the athlete.
It's very shut up and dribble. So I didn't really know who I was because I didn't even try. Because I was too busy trying to chase the gifts.
Yeah.
And I got lost in that. And so when What
time in your career was that? Did we know you? Did you have stuff out already that was like on the radio? And it didn't matter?
Mom. I'm in my 30s and everything. I'm talking about Sister Circle. I was like, this was 2017.
Oh,
2017, I just started to be like,
that was before the Kanye, that was after the Kanye song.
Yes, Kanye was, okay, that's done. Okay, how do we get to the next stuff? Because I thought after Kanye, finally, I can relax because I'm where I need to be and now I can just make music, get engaged in the gift and not so much the work. You know what I'm saying? I was engaged in the work to facilitate the gift so that I could pay bills, But I was engaged in the work to facilitate the gift. I don't know where Syleena was in that fold. I don't know where I was in that fold, where the self had nothing. I don't know what I was doing. I was just out here working to get to this goal that as artists we're told is success.
Yes.
And it's all the same for everybody. So if everybody's not at Beyonce level, nobody's doing anything.
Nobody's shit. And you're a hater. And you're a hater when you have a criticism of a song or a look or a... Yep. That's
you're just
crazy.
Mad because you're
not up there.
When the truth is, those are her levels of success.
Maybe. Because we don't even know if she's happy. We just assume she has it all, and so she's got to be happy, but it be the weirdest thing.
I'm sure there's times where Jay-Z get on her nerve, her kids get on her nerve, because she's a woman. She's a woman. Peace out. She's a mom and a woman.
And she's a Virgo. They're never satisfied.
Correct.
They're always overthinking, overcritical of themselves and others. Are you?
Yes.
See? She's Beyonce.
No, but the success thing, I really just started to realize what that is. And when I realized what success truly is, then I was able to start to understand who I am in it.
That is amazing. That is
what I'm saying?
Yes, that's growth. And I love that because sometimes
this is success. Pink Chaps is success.
Thank you.
Jonesy, you've been out here for decades.
And still being told.
Still going and had a show last night.
Yeah.
That's success. Now, to Joe Schmo down the street, maybe that ain't success to him. Maybe success to him, maybe a homeless person's success that day is getting a sandwich.
Right, or
that's
staying
his
warm.
Success. Or the videographer here. If his editing is all the bomb and it comes through good,
that's his success.
He's successful.
Meanwhile, I'm like, you're already successful because I love the setup. I love the...
It's fantastic.
So it's all relative to your...
To your levels.
Yeah. And what is important to you.
Yes.
I'm going to be a great person after this interview. I just got to tell you. I'm probably going to get married too. I just want you to know. all
with
because of you.
boundaries.
Yeah,
He's
with
gonna have
boundaries.
all the boundaries in check, and he's gonna be attracted to her. Correct.
Let me take that. I don't want. I don't want to be married.
Okay, then don't.
Yeah, no, I don't.
You can be in a relationship and still be in a marriage. It's still a marriage. It depends on how you look at it.
I agree. I agree.
Because a marriage is just companionship.
Right.
And I've also, I had an epiphany in my house one time.
I love the ring.
Thank you.
Close up on
He
the
did
ring.
good, child.
She said he did good.
Right, child. I had an
Beautiful.
epiphany one time. Because, again, my husband get on my nerves sometimes too, just like everybody in the world. And he was like, no, I was like, I gotta go get all the vitamins, and I just got overwhelmed because, you know, as a mom, you gotta do all this stuff. I gotta figure out all the cooking, and I gotta do this, and I gotta do, and then nobody helps me do anything, and I have to do everything by myself. Like with our nutrition and our vitamins and all the dietary stuff and what to eat and how to get it, and if we do a cleanse, I gotta lead it, like all this stuff. And then the Holy Spirit said to me, well, that's what you're good at.
That's your gift.
That's what you're good at. So the more you complain about it, the more stressful you will be about it. But if you accept that, oh, well, this is my role in this relationship, and stand in it, it becomes your own. You own it now. And now it's not stressful. Nobody has to tell me to do it. I'm okay with this. I actually want to. It's
Because
fine.
I do it the best.
Because I do it, and now I'm okay with it, and I know they're going to appreciate it because I've already been doing it. They've been appreciating it. It's just I haven't seen it because I'm waiting for some kind of, oh, thanks,
Thank
Mom.
you.
Thanks.
Right.
But,
Which doesn't hurt. I hear that occasionally.
but they're healthy. That's the appreciation. I did that. I helped to do that. You see what I'm saying?
That's so mature.
Or like my husband, he's a zillion miles on his, well, he had a Lexus and he just ran the car into the ground, zillion miles, because he's taking kids left and right to sports events, left and right. Like my husband, and he does not complain about any of that. He never complains about having to do anything. You know what I'm saying? Now
He just does it.
He just does it. And so he got into a car accident and a truck hit him or something, totaled his car. And so when we were in a car dealership, and he before I met him, when I met him, he had a Denali. He's always loved a Denali. He has a GMC truck, whatever. So we're in the car dealership, and he wanted this Tahoe. And it was really expensive, but it was like all the bells and whistles. Or it was like this Tahoe, because we don't buy new cars because they depreciate.
Yeah,
They're
you're not
stupid.
supposed
They're
to
stupid.
buy new cars.
Yeah, you don't buy new cars. You buy a new house. Don't buy a new car. So the car didn't have many miles on it. It was decent. It was dope. I'm talking about spick and span. Looked like it probably was a car service. It was black on black. He loved black. So, but there was another one that was a little cheaper, but it was white. He didn't really like it, but it was cheaper. Still dope. Still a Tahoe was dope. Black rims was dope. But he was just like, he was gonna settle for the Tahoe. And in my mind, it's like, he has taken the role of, I take my son everywhere.
Sacrifice.
I'm his trainer. I'm a this, I'm a that. I said, you deserve to get what you want.
Yeah,
God will figure out the rest.
I love that.
You see what I'm saying? So
I love that.
That's his role. I don't take kids. I don't take my son all over the world anymore. I'm driving. I'm riding.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't have to go find and pick him up. Kiwan absolutely takes over the responsibility of that for my son KJ and for my youngest Kingston. Takes him to piano, all that stuff.
I love that you have a pianist. I
I'm
appreciate
trying to make
that.
him be one. He likes it, but I'm trying to really.
Yeah, that's important.
Yeah.
Shay plays the drums. And
Oh.
he didn't want to at first, but then he became so good. And then when his friends would come over and be like, whose drums are those?
Right.
No way. You never told us you played drums. He'd get on and
Now you want to show all the people.
Yeah.
That's like Kingston is. Come in my room. Let me show you about this piano. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
sometimes you just have to
And it may not stick.
assume certain roles.
Right.
If I feel like you
Again,
stress
that's
yourself
maturity.
out.
That's self-awareness. That all of this, these are
we don't
steps
have
of-
much time on this earth to be having. I'm tired of being stressed. I'm tired of having a bad time. I would like to be okay sometimes. So I just been trying to find pockets.
Right, that's why I'm in the
Okay.
streets every
Yeah.
chance I can get. When I came in, she was like, "Oh, you missed a show last night. Why?" I said, "Cause I was working." But I'm happy because you know what? Being home for 15 years does gives you a different level of appreciation of enjoying things that you want to do. Not that you don't love seeing your kids happy, or not that you don't love being present for all of their needs, but there's still a piece that, you know, that makes me happy that is not involving them.
Right.
Directly involving them.
Well,
and now I have to explain, if I'm happy, you'll be happier. Haven't you noticed mom's not yelling at you as much? And
But you shouldn't be so hard on yourself, Jonesy, because that's what good mothers do.
I mean, I have my moment.
That's
I
what we
receive
do,
it.
sis. If we didn't do these things, your child would not have been this successful and in college and having scholarships and having a choice.
Yeah, having options.
And then still mature enough to say, I'm tired. I don't want to play anymore.
Yeah.
Because that's okay.
Yeah, I told him that. Yeah.
It's okay. He's going to be successful with something else because he still has all of the principles of teamwork and greatness instilled in him. He will not fail.
That's
what's not possible.
Right. That's what sports. I think any learning how to be a team member, the discipline, and all that stuff, it plays out. Everybody's not going to go pro.
Correct.
But you can have a pro life. You can have a pro life.
And not in a Republican way.
Yeah.
But in an actual
Wow. Yeah. So
pro living.
let me give you your
People
gold
that live.
sneakers that I got for you
No, I'm
because
okay.
I'm not.
I'm gonna go with silver.
Right.
I'm gonna go with platinum. If he don't get out of here with them space shoes,
And then
they the same color of his hair.
it is bewildering to me, and I want your take on this, that he is saying things out loud to us that, oh, the black people, I see a lot of you out here. See, I've come a long way. I'm noticing you now. You like me because now I have a mugshot. So you're saying that all black people have mugshots or are used to the criminal system, and he's so stupid.
Yeah.
He's such a dumb, small guy.
But what's interesting is he's dumb, and then he treats us like we're dumb.
Right.
And then we accept it.
And his follower, I don't know
Which
if we
is
accept
so
it.
odd.
I don't know that we accept it. What can we do? Because remember, and you know, as the
We can vote.
but you
Because
know,
we're so dumb, we'll not vote because we don't like Biden either. And listen, if you don't like President Biden, that is absolutely fine. Everybody has the right to not like some of the principles and policies and things that they have. And then the presidency term, you have the right to not like some of the things that went on in this term. You have the right to not like the president, period. But at some point, just like the last election, you have to be able to, sometimes voting is to get the
right. I said I didn't
away.
vote for Biden. I voted to keep this
Get him
idiot out.
Unfortunately,
You're
they
an
did not come
ass.
up with another candidate.
Will I go to jail
He's
or have
nuts.
Secret Service swoop down on me if I say, nigga, please don't let me come in contact with you because I'm fucking you all the way out.
Okay, no jokes.
Like, I'm fucking you up. And I don't need my girl cousins. My mom is the only child. I don't have girl cousins. But I be wanting to fight him.
He's very slow.
And the problem
if we
is,
just
I'm
act
noticing-
accordingly, we'll be all right. If we just galvanize and get him out of there, we'll
But
be
he
okay.
getting the other ones hyped up, and y'all gonna let him get y'all ass kicked.
But see, the thing is, let me tell you something.
I have a t-shirt that says that, don't let your president get your ass whooped.
White people are not dumb either.
Well, I don't know if this is even all white people.
No, but what I'm saying
It's
is the
that-
people that vote for him,
Yeah,
the
that-
ones that quote unquote like him, they're not voting because they think he's smart. They're voting to keep us
oppressed.
You see what I'm saying?
And to be able to be the boss of us again. And to be able to put us in our place. You know, I went to DR recently, and the Dominican guy was driving the bus. And then the folks came on, and he said, please sit. I can't drive with you moving. And the guy goes, well, as long as you ain't taking me to the border. Said it. Now, thankfully, the driver didn't understand English. But I'm like, this is what they're doing. But this is what they're doing out loud now. Y'all gonna get fucked up.
Yeah.
Keep it up. Y'all gonna get fucked up. And Venezuela, y'all can keep running through New York trying to terrorize people. Y'all gonna come across
Well, you
the right
saw
one.
Alabama.
No.
You saw how they with the chairs and
Oh,
and
right.
It's already starting.
Don't test us. Don't.
People are standing on business.
Yeah.
they sitting on G waiting on O.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's actually good.
G
if
waiting on
everybody's
O.
sitting on G and waiting because
So let's
Now we all
not
fighting?
have to do that, right?
That's stupid.
Let's just go out and keep him from getting in because they're
Yeah.
trying to take us back to Reconstruction,
But he showed
owning
us
us
who he
again.
is. Why don't we just believe him?
We do. We all do, but they want that. They
Yeah.
want to
They
be
know
able
who he is
to.
too. They know who he is too. But the stupid people that, shoot, he gave us some PPP.
And he
and the
didn't. That wasn't him.
PRPs,
That was Nancy Pelosi.
and the money
dummy.
and the thing that did. He gave us.
He didn't. He fought against it. He don't want y'all to have nothing.
But then they say that recklessly. And then young people who don't know the policy and procedure and all that stuff,
Right.
they'll listen to that and they'll think that that's good and smart.
And then there's AI, so you don't know what
Right.
commercial is real and what commercial really
And who
isn't.
said what?
Yeah. This is
Child,
why.
it's just a mess.
It is. It
a
is.
mess.
And then you have to be mindful. That's enough to make you drink.
Absolutely.
But that's going to create another problem for you.
Correct.
So you got to always be managing.
Always be managing.
Always.
Well, let's just join them.
Right.
If we can beat 'em.
At least today we could be pink about
Right,
it.
yeah. This is so cute. The
Thank
rose
you.
room. I
Shiny,
love it.
Shiny's China Soul, Palisades Avenue in Teaneck. The best food, which you are going to experience.
I'm about to have them.
You and your team. I'm so glad you came. We didn't talk about the music, but I love how I feel like you dove in with this city winery tour.
I did.
I feel like that shit came out of nowhere, although I know you're a planner. But to us, it looked like you just took over with all these dates at one time, like back to back to back. Did you create your own or did they come to you?
Well, I've been doing the city winery for over a decade. So it's been a
I didn't even
build-up.
know about City Winery
Yes.
until like recently.
Well, you know, New York City Winery was a lot smaller. So they just rebuilt this new one, which, by the way, absolutely gorgeous in there. It's
Okay.
beautiful. The sound is fantastic. You know, City Winery has great food. It's wine. How can you go wrong?
Yeah, no, you can't go wrong with that. I just wasn't aware, and I didn't know that
Yes.
artists were coming through. Like now,
Yes.
I look on the website.
Yeah, Layla Hathaway being a Dave. I just saw Dave in there.
He was there, and
Raheem.
Christopher Williams came in. He called Chris to come in, so and Chris did a show with me recently, and he told me about it. And I was like, I need to do an evening with Miss Jones in there,
You absolutely should.
or Miss Jones and friends.
Absolutely.
Yeah, something.
And they love stuff like that. They do this. They did Q Parker and Friends in Atlanta. But they have been. It's been a lot of black artists now. You know, understanding that our venues are for soul music and R&B. These are the kind of venues that we're
Yeah. Now
thriving in.
Philly has a plethora
Yeah,
of those
they
venues.
have a lot
New
of
York,
them,
not
yeah.
so much. But I'm glad to know. How is it going for you?
Oh, I love the City Winery. We sell out all the time. We sold out last night. You
Congratulations.
know, Philly is next.
Oh, you already know.
Yeah, that's going to be a
You already
sellout
know that's
probably.
gonna be a
Chicago
sellout.
is 3 shows.
And everyone will come out. All the artists in Philly will come. Like they come
Oh, yeah, they have
out
a good
to,
time. Yeah.
They come to
But let me
support.
tell you, my sorors,
What
the
sorority?
Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, honey. Honey, they came out last night.
And they claimed you, and
They clowned.
oh, good. They were making.
They shut the building down. First of all, the Z-Fan and the chants was one thing, but we almost had a fire hazard, honey. We were so deep in the hallways.
That's good though.
No, I love my sorors. We come. You talking about stand on business? Stand on business was an organization. It's Zeta Phi Beta Sorority. They come out and they come out to all the shows, and they're just fantastic because they scream in the audience. They have a good time.
Are you still active?
Of course, I'm still active.
No, and
Yes.
I only
No,
say
yes,
it not that
I'm
you don't love them, but sometimes your life
I'm a
is.
member at large.
Okay.
And but I am still very active in Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated in terms of the and helping with intake of honorary Zetas. I've helped with that.
Okay.
And always doing different events. I'll be performing at Boule this year.
Very nice.
And always at the beck and call. Boule is our national conference that we have every 2 years. But always at the.
They come from all over.
All over the world.
And then your
And
president.
And our
talks
president, yeah,
and-
but well, it's a bunch of meetings and events and performances.
Yeah,
it's dope. It's like a weekend of Zetas. Yeah, it's just all the good things.
So when you hear me talking about the D9, because I have D9 moments, because I feel like that is a responsible way of telling people what's going on in the community and how they can be a part of it.
Absolutely.
So I'm utilizing the D9 to do that because I'm not Greek,
I'm telling
which is
you.
what they call it.
Yeah.
But I know that it's important and the work y'all do
Yes.
touches lives and people always need help, direction, You know?
I just talked about this on one of my shows. I said Black Greek organizations are Black history. And we're Black History Month. If you think about it, we are the most consistent set of groups, you know, that have galvanized in communities to promote scholarship, brother and sister unity, food drives,
clothing drives,
anything
scholarship.
community.
Because when my son was applying for college,
yes,
the D9
absolutely.
they offer
scholarships
for a number of reasons. It could be things you're not even thinking mean something or value, and they'll throw you a couple of thousand here and there, and it adds up.
And we're in the community for different causes, like Zeta Phi Beta has Stork's Nest, where they help unwed mothers and single moms, and you know what I'm saying, and young mothers. We have Arcanettes, who are friends of Zetas. We have Amikais. Well, I think Amikais are friends of Zetas. Arcanettes are like the baby Zetas. You know, so
so that's like the Kappa League, the young boys.
But there's subcategories in every organization that helps to facilitate our communities. And they were, and these organizations were started because white organizations on campuses at PWIs did not want us in their organizations.
Good, because we don't want to chug beer all day any old way.
Even though we still did. But and other stuff. We made our own drugs. But the Greek lettering, people always criticize, oh, y'all ain't Greek, that's demonic, whatever. The Greek lettering is simply just a symbol to differentiate between the organizations under a scholastic umbrella. It has absolutely nothing to do with us walking around here thinking that we're Greeks. We're African Americans.
We're very clear on that.
Greek lettering to represent the different organizations in terms of, this is, because guess what? You need to have different organizations because you have different personalities.
Right.
Nobody's the same person. We have to have, just like white organizations or PWIs have organizations, you have band, you have educational sororities. Right, scholarship. I'm part of a honor society organization that's got Greek lettering. So at the end of the day, I just think the D9 is definitely Black history, and it is a really key component and point in our culture.
It's a resource.
It's a resource.
It's a resource for our culture, and they're there to serve.
Yep.
So that's why I try and bring them on the show.
Yep.
So you guys know where to go, what's going on.
Did you go to college?
I did. I went to Syracuse.
Okay. Why didn't you? Did you ever want to pledge? Did you ever want to be in an organization?
It's so complicated.
Oh God.
It is so complicated.
Well, you know,
but both my sisters. I think that ship has sailed for me. I think that ship has sailed for me. But both my sisters.
I don't know, Josie.
I have an AKA and an SG row.
Good for them.
Yeah, my sisters. So, you know, and my SG row sister is like heavy in SG row. She's the one over at the View. And she's like heavy after all these years.
Well, you know, NPHC, National Panhellenic Council, is the umbrella over all of us. And you do know that even though we're in different organizations, we all still very much work together because we are also under one organization, which is the National Panhellenic Council.
Right.
So if you didn't want to be an SGA row or an AKA, say perhaps you wanted to be a Zeta,
I don't know anyone that is one that could help me out.
Well, guess what? I think I can introduce you to some people that could really
break the fire code.
Absolutely.
Shut shit down at my shows.
You're giving finer womanhood. I just feel finer. I just feel that it's finer here. So
no, thank you. What I would like is I'm trying to get Calling All Ladies to be you guys' song.
Oh, you could do that. You could totally do that.
That's what.
You should do a video like that and then just put everybody in it.
Yeah.
And then we'll all create a national, we have a national stroll. You know how you've been in.
That set it off. I'm trying to make it calling all ladies.
And then we stroll to it. And all organizations get in it. We have a stroll called Nationals and we all get in the same stroll.
This I know.
So for people that think that just because you're in a different organization, we want to fight the other one. No. That's the trick of society, trying to make it seem like we fight each other, like we're a gang. We're not gangs.
And they can't beat you with paddles anymore either.
Yeah. Hazing has been illegal.
They can't keep you up all night, overnight.
Yeah. They sure
all
can.
All the things.
So anyway.
Right, shifting gears. So, will you be touring with other artists, and if you had your wish list of like, who do you appreciate listening to? Top five.
Man,
Give me a top five.
Do they have to be new?
Nah, not at all.
Oh, well, they're gonna be real ancient. Okay, top 5, Sade.
Okay.
Sade, because black people call it Sade.
You just said Sade.
Sade.
You are black people.
This is what we call it. We call her Sade. Okay, her name is Sade Adu, but we call her Sade. So Sade, Marvin Gaye,
Okay.
Stevie. This is gonna throw you for a loop. My son says I should stop listening to her because he says she's a devil worshiper. But I like Billie Eilish. I love Billie Eilish. I love her songs. They're great.
Okay.
And in terms of hip hop,
Are those your teeth?
these are my teeth.
They're
These are not
so
veneers.
straight and so white.
Yeah, my
but like
dad-
natural white.
My
Those
dad
are pretty.
he did good. I haven't gotten them whitened. They probably need to get whitened. But
I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry. I just
it's
noticed
okay.
when I was looking at you.
People ask me all the time. They're not
Yeah.
veneers. My dad did
has
one
really
good
nice
thing.
teeth.
He gave me some teeth.
Stop it.
Give me a
We're
second.
not gonna do. He did.
Oh,
one
he gave
good
me a
thing.
voice. He gave me my voice too. He did. But yeah, so Sade, Marvin Gaye, Stevie,
Billie Eilish,
Billie Eilish.
and one more.
I know it's somebody I'm probably really missing.
Rakim. No, I'm kidding.
No.
I mean, it could be hip
Oh,
hop.
myself.
Okay.
Any one of my own albums. I'd probably say Chapter 3. Maybe Chapter 3. Yeah. Or this new Legacy album that's coming.
And you told me about the what was the song that we played that morning?
Was it Black Balloon? Oh, no, Monsters in the Closet.
Monsters in the Closet.
Yeah. I'm on to the next single now. It's called Black Balloons.
Okay.
It's really good.
What does it
really
mean? What did it
positive.
mean to you, Black Balloons?
Well, my dad wrote a song. Well, he didn't write it. He did a song back in the day called Black Balloons.
So that's 3 things he gave you.
He gave me a song. He sure did. Black Balloon was a record that he put on an album called Is It Because I'm Black? And the album came out during like the civil rights movement era, right?
Her dad
it tried
is-
to come out. It's Seal Johnson, Blues Hall of Fame, blues and R&B
Where so
soul
many people
singer.
know. So,
But he was one of the most sampled artists of our time, of all time.
are you eating off of those checks?
I absolutely am.
Nice.
And because we all own his estate. 'Cause he
Nice.
passed in 2022.
That I'm aware of.
Correct.
So that's 5 things so far that he
Okay,
gave
that
you.
he gave me.
Because I
So
don't even want to
teeth-
go to the why you got beef with Dad. Because I'm hearing a lot of
I
good.
don't have any beef with my dad. He's under the ground.
I know,
Well,
but
he's
when you
actually
say
in the world.
the one thing he gave, it makes it seem
It's
like
a joke.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it's just joking. I wasn't saying like, oh, my dad has never given me anything. It was just like, yeah, one thing my dad gave me is give me some teeth kind of concept. But what was I saying?
About Black Balloons, that he was
Oh,
a
Black
civil rights.
Balloons. Okay,
civil
so
rights.
it was on this album that was like very racially charging, if you want to call it. It was very conscious, culture conscious. And so I guess the white people that were the head, per my dad told this story.
Yeah.
The head ups, they
I believe
shelved
him.
the album. They shelved the album because it was too controversial. But then later on, they published the Is It Because I'm Black lyrics, the song Is It Because I'm Black, in the Time magazine. So what I did was I went to that album and I took this particular song, Black Balloons, which is talking about black people, and I turned it into I redid it because I feel like we're very similar to the helium that is in a black balloon. Every time you keep pushing a balloon down, what happens?
It's just going to
pops
keep
right
on.
back.
Wow.
So that's what the song is about. It's positive. The stars so bright, sun so high, it's just like you. Just talking about uplifting and keep staying up and keep rising no matter what is going on in the world. And I really felt like we needed that too.
I like that.
Because
I
I'm
like
tired
songs
of
that
us.
are it's timely,
Yeah.
and there's so much going on from day to day.
That's so negative.
Yeah.
It's a fool.
Let me just say this also. Just because never mind. We're going to keep it positive, and we're going to...
You can go ahead.
I was going to talk about social media. Social media has become the devil.
It is trash.
It has become so hypocritical where people will attack you for what they consider you attacking their favorite artist, simply if you're making a comment. And it may not even be their page or their post that you're commenting to, but people assume that if you post something out there that they can at you and say, why are you saying it? Don't at me. Sorry.
It's okay.
Do you ever engage on social media, number one? Because I see you sometimes, but do you ever, on those topics that are charging, have you gotten into stuff with followers or?
I will not go back and forth with a person that does not know me.
Okay.
It is a waste of my time, and they are, in fact, indeed a waste of my space.
Okay.
And
I agree.
They're just not worth the spit.
Because I've been going to people's inboxes and cussing them out with a voice note and
but
breaking them
they
down.
have come in my inbox going nuts, and I have gone back and forth with someone in my inbox. But what I've realized is, because I'm a Virgo and I like to have the last word, you can't really have the last word on social media, because you would have to be able to sit there and physically have time to sit there and wait to go back and forth with someone all day. No one has time to do that. So I said what I said. If you talk stupid, I'm just gonna block you and erase you. See, that's why you need to be spending that time in somebody's bubble bath and spending that time on yourself. This is why you have a bad time, because you're somewhere tough.
I be fighting all the inboxing all the time.
Fighting all your life.
Waking up at 4 in the morning. Oh, I see you ain't saying nothing. That means I won.
You are sitting on G, waiting on O every day.
It's so unhealthy.
Sick of it.
But it keeps me alive.
No,
I just
will
don't
not go
like
back and
the.
forth.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
won't.
Good.
And you would have
Learn
to
from
say
you.
something. Yeah, Vivica.
And
used to
at
say
that point-
too. Syleena, it's not that easy, because Vivica gives it to people down. Vivica Fox.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, she gonna give it to you. Claudia gonna give it to you. Claudia Jordan will give it to you. She'll go tussle.
I watch Claudia go back and
She
forth,
will
and
get
she
them
does it in an
together.
articulate way. Like
Yeah,
she'll
get them together. But I just don't have the time. Sometimes I try to, get somebody, but then I'll be like, okay, they dumb. So let me just.
Right, and that infuriates me too when I'm
That
like,
don't
you're
be
stupid
working.
and you only have 100 followers.
Yeah, like,
what's the
why are we
point?
doing this?
What's the win there?
Yeah, and then you're actually making their day.
Right.
While they're
and then they're
messing up
playing back
yours.
your voice note.
Yeah.
At the family barbecue.
Right.
And
You
that-
voice
yeah.
noted to people.
I do it a lot.
These people will never get a voice note from me.
I do it. They be all types
Jonesy.
of, you're this, and oh, look at your third picture from the left down. I can understand. Yeah, and then they get mad because I be like, weren't you just worshiping for peace? And now here you are. So they're like, you're stalking my page. I needed a
You do
reference
realize
before I attack. I need to know the
they're not
vulnerabilities
even-
and the shortcomings.
But you do know they're just messing with you because they know that they can have a good time with you.
You gonna get it. Hey, good time Sally right
So
here.
when you go low
Let me
with
stop
Jonesy,
drinking.
she goes to hell.
Yeah. Pretty much, but I want people to know, stop wasting time protecting celebrities that don't give a fuck about you. Y'all be going to hell, like,
they be full
hell and
blown
back.
armies, full blown.
Yeah.
They be galvanized at these poles.
And y'all too grown for
Let's
that. You're
galvanize at these
crazy. They're
poles.
not coming off of their perch to help you, save you, help your kids get into a good school or anything. You're a joke to them. They're using you to elevate and be further away from you.
That's true.
They are
That's
using
true.
you to keep them and their children far away from you and your kind, except when they want you to pay $4,000 for tickets.
And see, I don't have fans like that. My fans don't go to other people's page and talk stupid. Me and my fans, we be having a good time on my page. We be talking about fun stuff. We be like, I don't have fans
other people's
like that.
I wish other
We be
people
chilling.
would
We
talk
don't
to
do
their
that.
fans and chill them out.
I think you should do that. I think that if your fans
you catch
try to
these
go
Jonesy
break,
hands.
unless you are Donald Trump or Condoleezza, is that her name? Candace Owens. I like Condoleezza Rice.
Oh.
Unless you are Candace Owens or Donald Trump, then I can understand you going to their page and turning up because they say controversial stuff.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But
other than that,
people that just have a normal opinion, and then you going and trying to cancel their whole page and
say
cancel
and
them
reporting it, and it's just too much, and they're not going for you.
and then it's gonna go away in 2 days.
Right.
That's the biggest thing. No one's gonna care in 2 days.
Right.
Maybe even 1. Maybe in 2 hours.
Right. Until the next big thing.
Until the next, or the
thing
next
happens.
person, they go on their page and say something. Because you better believe, if they argue with you, they probably arguing with somebody over here, a celebrity over here. It's probably a whole group of them like, who can we get to turn up with today?
Right. I have to keep that in mind. Because it'd be
Just
8 hours
try.
later,
No.
and I'm sweaty, hair sitting.
You don't have that time.
What happened? Who you been fighting? Strangers in this chat?
No. I will say this though. I am guilty of going and stalking comments. Comments make my day. I will go and creep comments.
Because sometimes that people are funny.
So I can laugh.
No,
right.
People be funny.
The internet is undefeated in jokes.
Yeah.
I
You just gotta
love
know
the
when
comments.
to back away. You gotta know when to back away.
You can't get in them though, unless you're gonna say something funny. But you can't get engaged, but
And you can't get personally offended.
no, you gotta
Because
just
then they'll
watch
win.
it.
Yeah.
You just gotta watch everything that's going on. It's just entertainment.
And you gotta know who you are, or else, you'll get knocked
And
off
then
your
you just
square and
post
be
your
like,
stuff. Yeah, you just post your stuff and be just detached from it.
I
You're
told
trying
a
to promote.
story because in watching the Wendy documentary, there were a few instances where she was seemingly engaging with her nail tech and her publicist, and she's like, "Are you married?" And the girls are like, "No," and then all of a sudden she's like, "Are you stupid?" Like she flipped. Now we know now it's probably dementia, but when she came to my house, she was sharing, she was crying, she was in a bad way. And I tell the story how I rocked her and I was like, "You are better than this. You're gonna come out ahead and I did the sister talk that
Correct.
we give each other when we need you to fucking put the big panties on.
And do your thing.
Right.
Correct.
She sits up straight, she puts the wig back on, and she was like, "You're right." She puts those titties out and then she looks over and she goes, "This is disgusting. Your mom would be ashamed that she attacked my heart." I said, "Oh my."
What is happening?
I just helped you. She's like, "Jones, you have to push away from the table. You've got to do better." And I was like, but it didn't bother me so much because I knew how I looked at that time.
Yeah,
you know what I
but
mean? If
no.
you're self-aware, but I can laugh now. But
At the
I was
time.
gagging because I was like, "Bitch, you think I don't see my stomach? I just helped you." Got to be self-aware. And you seem very self-aware.
I am self-aware. I have a mother, no shade, who Wendy Williams couldn't hang with her on a on a light day.
She was like that?
My mother she knows how to say stuff. Let's just say that. She know how to get across a point.
That's where
Even
you
if it's
got the
unwarranted.
lips of a baboon's ass.
Well, Jonesy, let's move forward.
Remember?
No, don't say, look at the screen and say, remember.
I mean,
Oh, God.
and I don't want to, because I'm friends with her. And I know you probably still are cool.
My
And
mother is very, very
thank you for taking it out.
forthcoming. So, a Wendy Williams probably wouldn't, I mean, it would have taken me aback because I'm a woman and no one wants to hear that, but I probably would have been, I'm a human being. Anything somebody says to you negative is going to hurt you.
But if you're accustomed to that type of,
you kind of just like,
Is that right?
oh man, they having a time.
right,
Like,
having a
oh,
time.
they struggling.
What
know.
do you think? How does this story end? Because I don't like the fact that this is a conspiracy theory. The powers that be, do they want us to see how we made her a black icon, and we were like, wow, she's done it. She's shattered the glass roof, and now they want us to see how it can all go away so we can forget those dreams for ourselves and for our young girls? Because why wasn't she protected? Barbara Walters was never exposed. Her fellow journalist peers would never have allowed. During her last days, they all said wonderful things, and those that didn't say wonderful things about her did not make the edit. Where was Tamron Hall? Where's Gail? Gail, you always up in somebody's mix. Y'all couldn't have done, like, nobody could have come or nobody can do something. She's just out there, exposed, legacy and reputation destroyed. I know she did a lot of things or said a lot of mean things to people, but at what point do we say, guys, all right, enough already? God is already doing the thing.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
To Wendy.
It'd be nice if people in this world actually allowed God to take vengeance of his own. But when do we ever really do that? So the people that allowed those things wanted those things to be.
I agree.
what
Where's
I'm
the
saying?
Tyler Perrys? Where's the come protect? Where are the Byron Allens? Come protect.
If she's attacked them at any stage in their life and career,
they're all right. Well,
in their
There's gotta
mind,
be somebody.
that is vengeance of God.
it's just hard. It's hard to see because, God forbid, we ever make a mistake or we ever get caught up. Y'all gonna leave us for dead?
Yeah, but we're not that kind of world, and social media perpetuates that as well. We're very mean at times. People can be very mean. On the flip side, people can be very kind and very nice. You have those people too, but people are really mean, and people really actually like to see people fall.
Yeah,
That's bad.
there's
It's
something
bad.
to that.
It's bad,
but
but
there's something to that, and there's a rating attached to that.
yeah, like it's real sick.
So many
but
things.
that's what time it is in this industry. If anything, young people should take away this: all the grass ain't as green. And all the bells and whistles, they'll be whistling and belling all the time.
Yeah.
You know, everything is not what it seems. You know, hopefully not even just young people, but people in general, when we're somewhere coveting someone else's position, coveting someone else's success,
Or what we think is their come up.
right. You got to understand that what Wendy Williams had to go through and deal with, and everything that she did, came with a price tag.
And a lot of hers was rooted in childhood trauma. All trauma is based in childhood, actually.
Pretty much.
But who has time to go back? Because we're trained to keep it moving.
Correct.
We don't got time to cry.
Nope.
Wipe your tears and go on and, accomplish and get over it.
And that came from slavery.
Yeah.
That was taught to our people in slavery.
You got to keep
and we're so detached from who we truly are as a culture, don't even get me started, that we don't even know what we did to cope. As in Africa, we don't.
And
we
Africans don't even want us. They would think we're lazy.
Would you? Because we've adopted the ideology of the colonizers.
What else was
We're
there?
nuts.
What else was there for us, though? Do you know what I mean? Some of our,
It's
I have to say,
trash,
some of our
but-
ancestors, some of them were strong enough to say, no, we're going to fight back. And others, just like now in the culture, are like, okay, it's not that bad. And they went along to get
They
along.
survived, and they did the best
Right.
they could.
So that doesn't mean that they like those circumstances. Doesn't mean that we like the circumstances.
and some of them at the time weren't, I would assume they didn't want to die.
Right.
Who wants to die?
Who's brave enough to take a chance with death every
and
day.
maybe those people, the ancestors that fought were soldiers. Who knows? What if you just have regular carpenters? They're like, I don't know nothing about fighting or all that, So the point is, we don't know who we are really, truly, or what we can know if we look at at how we've sustained.
Yeah.
You can kind of determine how strong we are and how resilient we are.
Do you think this is going to break her?
Who, Wendy?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I hope not.
I don't think it's going to break her, because I think anybody that has had a career of exposing others absolutely is not fearful of being exposed. And so I would not think that something like this would break a Wendy, because she's probably at the place in her life where she's like, it is what it is.
And she probably can't remember a lot of it also.
Yeah, like at this point.
So maybe that's a blessing. Maybe God put the... All right, so let's take that as a high note.
I don't think this is going to take her down. As a matter of fact, what I've been getting out of this with people that I've talked to, especially you and all the people that have known her, because I never had a bad, as crazy as Wendy was, I never had a bad moment with Wendy Williams.
Well, she knew who to try.
Well,
she knew who to try.
I don't know, but she was our very first guest on Sister Circle, which is an all-black cast show. She did not have to do that. She came on there and blessed our show. So there were moments that I'm like, okay, we know Wendy is bananas, but
yeah, she picked and
she
chose.
picked and she wasn't always.
And no one should always be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I came on the Wendy Williams show, and I was afraid, but I was very, I was very solid within who I was. This was around the whole R. Kelly time.
I remember that,
and I was nervous because I know she's a ninja with these questions,
Yeah.
So, but I was.
Did she give it to you?
She didn't give it to me, but she asked me questions, and I just answered them truthfully and normal. And I guess she was just like, okay, well, that's that. It wasn't a setup. I didn't feel like I was in the hot seat or a gotcha bitch moment. Like
yeah.
It was just these are the questions, and I just answered them and these are the answers.
And since you brought him up, if he came out of jail, right? Would you work with him again if he gave you good music or use? Okay.
No.
That's just against who you.
No.
That's crossing your boundary.
And that doesn't mean that I don't still think he was the king of R&B. I do not think that his music is terrible. Yeah. I do not think that his music is tainted it is tainted forever because of what happened, but he's still a musical genius.
Yeah.
Still genius at what he has done in terms of music is concerned. But I couldn't work with him knowing what I know as a person. And listen, if I knew that about anybody that wasn't in jail, I probably would not want to work with.
So at least you're consistent. That's just who you are.
That's just who I am.
Right.
And it's tough for me because I love Robert's music. I love R.
I do
Kelly's
too.
music.
I do too.
And I struggle listening to it. And not because, oh, he was this, first of all, you were abusive to women, that's terrible. But all of that music, that whole legacy, how could you, I'm more upset, how could you do that and jeopardize all of that music and all of that?
Because they're not thinking that when they're in that moment.
That's, if anything that pisses me off, well, what you did to the women is number one. And I hate even revisiting what they went through, because it's just like the worst shit ever. Like, why would a person want to do that to somebody? But why would you want to erase the legacy that you spent all these years?
Because I think when you do things and you get away with them for so long,
dang, that's
we're
terrible.
just finding out, but he's probably been getting away with it for so long that he's not thinking that it will ever come out. And this is the year, this is the season of everybody's shit coming out. Because there's some new lawsuits that were just finalized, I guess, accusations against Diddy.
Again?
Yeah, I think one is Tiara Marie. Tiara, I'd love to have you on Pink Champs to talk about it. And yeah.
Well, you know what this speaks to, though? Who hasn't got caught? Who are the ones that have been? Because make no mistake, and you know we know, it's some of them that were running around here right up under them, getting away with some of the things that they were doing, and just have not been the spotlight and got caught. Yet.
I hear there's a male sexual assault lawsuit coming too. That's going to create the onslaught of the other men.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but
it's just a mean, dirty, vicious industry for women. It really we be behind enemy lines. We do. And it's really tough, and you don't even be knowing the predatory behavior that's going on behind your back, and that you're being preyed on by certain people. You don't even be knowing.
And sometimes it be fellow female artists that are pick-me's, and they're looking at you like, why are you making so much noise? Why is this not good enough for you? Girl, come on and get down with this, get down. Yeah.
Wow. Now see, I've not experienced
that. You think you're too good, you think you're no better than us, yeah.
Wow. Well, you know what, I'm gonna tell you something. God has been my actual father in this industry, because I promise I was shielded from a lot of things, not by people, just by God. I just think the way my path has diverted me from being engaged, being in some of this shit that went down. Yeah. But now I look at it like, hell no, I remember that. Right. I didn't go because of the such and such,
Meanwhile,
like,
there was a bigger reason,
from stuff. Yeah, like, wow.
Yeah, because we all were at one point or another either stepping into the or just leaving.
It or seeing, maybe.
There's a lot of finding out more stuff as the day goes.
I had to have been around certain things and just not known them, that they were going on in the same buildings and stuff. I mean, and
it's bigger than even black music. Like Monifa was on here and we were talking about this, and she was saying how it starts. They're patterning it after the big white music executives. They thought that was what you're supposed to do when you get on and you become the big black boss.
And this is why Africa don't want us.
That's funny.
That's what I said. Like, y'all can keep that colonization shit over there.
All of that.
Yeah. Because in ours, it's just survival.
At the end of the day, but we still got to do better. Can't just keep.
We have to, but everybody does. The white executives need to do better. Why? Okay, this is my thing.
That's true.
Why? Because they're white, they don't have responsibility to be decent. We already know that maybe that's their MO on a lot of levels, but should we still not hold them accountable?
Who are we? Like, the people that have a voice, the people that have a voice to hold them accountable are still getting checks from them.
We're
so
doomed.
It just keeps on going and going and going.
So when Cat Williams sits down at Shannon Sharp, with Shannon Sharp, and he lays it out, him and Monique, and they lay it out, we all go into an uproar. Everybody goes into an uproar. But then, like I said, a week or two goes by. And no
it's
one
over.
Cares, and no one does anything. I remember when Ice Cube came on Cocktails with the Queens. And remember it was around the election time, and he had that contract that he was wearing. And a lot of people ridiculed him and was like, you over there talking just because he wanted to talk to Trump. Now, you wish he would have got in the infrastructure and talked to somebody and made somebody sign that contract, because nothing happened on our behalf.
I was going to say, it never does.
Nothing ever happens. So while we're all sitting here going off, having, mental illness, going to people's pages, making other people have mental illness, creating trauma in other people and all over people. Yeah. nothing moves. Like, where are all these organizations that trash people? Why y'all don't go galvanize and go make some policies change?
Yeah, because it's easier to just jump in our inbox.
Right.
Right. It's easier to do that.
And do something big. Do something that's going to move the needle.
What were your thoughts about the back and forth between Monique and her son?
I didn't like that at all.
Does it make you view her differently?
No, but I didn't like it. I didn't like him coming out, and I didn't like her coming. I didn't like.
What about him coming out didn't you like?
I just didn't like that he felt that it was good to do that right now. If he's an adult, It's not gonna make or break your mother to talk about her in that way.
But I disagree. What if it freed him? What if talking about it publicly helped to free him?
Go to a therapist.
But she did it on a public platform, so why can't he
But she didn't talk bad about him.
Cut the tape.
Okay, well, if she talked bad about him publicly, then he had a right to respond.
Right.
Just like Cat Williams was responding. He didn't just say, hey, Shannon, look, I'm just coming down there to talk crazy. Because he's a Virgo. We're born on the same exact day.
Oh, my goodness. What day is that?
September 2nd. But he just responded, okay, then? Because really, we're introverts. We don't really like to be bothered. We're extroverted introverts. We really don't like fooling with people. But as far as her son is concerned, if she did say things about him first.
If she brought it there first,
okay, then he has the right to respond. Me personally, and this is no shade to Monique, because part of me really feels like she has a right to say the shit that she's saying. And I think that she does get a bad rap on a lot of stuff because no one wants to hear people tell the truth sometimes about certain things. But I could not see myself even responding back in terms of my son. For me, I would have gone to his house and had a conversation with him to his eyeballs.
To let him know.
The next video would have been us together.
With a Yamla.
Yeah. Or just together. Because I wouldn't have wanted my son to feel that way. Again, I'm a mom and I love my son and I don't want my
Which
son
is not to say that you're saying that Monique doesn't love her son.
Right, but
I think a part of that was her also finding this new shiny toy called social media. And she didn't realize how effective and how much of a platform it is. So now that she does, she wants to keep on going back and forth with things. Every week is something else, but
my son is off limits. I don't even want nobody to know nothing about him unless it's good. I don't want nobody touching my kids, period.
Because they're going to have a lifetime of people trying to, especially with their parents being in the spotlight.
Yes, that's enough.
You got to deal with that. My son made me take down I did a swimsuit calendar picture. He made me take the picture down in like 48 hours.
Because of his friends.
I said, but I've taken pictures with you on vacation in a bathing suit. What's the problem? He said, it's something about the arch in your back. He said the arch.
Well,
the arch.
Boy, it's yours.
What you know about arches? How you arching?
No, sons are with their moms. But my son played basketball.
I took it down.
He damn near more famous than I am. So he gonna have people talking about him and calling him all kinds of names from the stands and all that. He already going through that. So.
But you'll be able to help him manage that because you've been there. And I got it when he wanted me to.
If it's me and him, after he did what he did, I'm quiet.
Yeah.
You would have saw one statement. This is now a family matter that needs to be.
Please respect our privacy at this time.
It would have been so much. Please respect our privacies.
Please respect our privacy.
And I would have went to his house and cursed him out to his eyeballs if he's in the wrong.
That's mom.
And then I would have fixed it.
That's your mom.
Yeah, no, I would have cussed him out to his eyeballs.
Yeah,
ain't no on social media. We would have been. Ain't no cameras. It's me and you together. And then it would just been me and him. It wouldn't have had to been my husband.
Right, and then like you
that's not
said,
his father. I would have went there, had a conversation with him, but I would have been there to mend it because I just don't. At this stage in the game, he's a grown father. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want to be a grandmother in my son's life. I want to be in my son's life because at the end of the day, none of this shit is worth it.
It's not real.
It's not nothing. It's nothing.
We're all playing the role of.
Yeah, this
the
trash.
Role of the
Yeah, like this. I mean, it's great. I'm happy for the opportunity. I love Jonesy, but I'm saying like in this industry, none of this shit is nothing.
It's not real. It's all perception. If tomorrow, just say for example, going back to D9 and the sororities and stuff. If the rest of the world decided to not acknowledge sorority or any of the things, it would be done. So a lot of things are perception and us giving things value and merit.
put our ass in the house. Took
Real
away
quick.
everything, and the only thing we had was each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I had a good old time in the house with my people.
Well, I was
I'm
in
used
the house
to it.
anyway. Right.
Yeah, so I had a good time in my house.
I was like, now I can get liquor deliveries.
Listen,
and not
and go
look
watch
like a
TV.
lush.
Right.
Right. Now I could really stay in pajamas all day and not have to feel
Right,
guilty.
right.
I was A-okay with that.
Yeah, I was A-okay.
How's the
absolutely.
talk show coming? You left Fox Soul,
Well, they left us.
but
They
Claudia
stopped.
stayed.
Claudia stayed because she was on TGIF. So Claudia was on two shows, Cocktails with the Queens, and then TGIF was with
Funky Dineva
and
and
Al Reynolds. So she stayed. Funky just now left because they wouldn't pay him enough. I think that was the reason. I'm not sure. But she stayed for TGIF. They canceled Cocktails with the Queens.
Okay.
And they canceled all of the black shows except TGIF.
Oh.
So James DeBose built his own network. You know James, he loves you. He built his own network,
I'm not feeling the love though, James.
but he loves you. He talks about how he loves you all the time. So I don't know y'all business. That's on y'all, but he always talks positive about Jonesy to us. So I don't know.
I've known James before the Keisha Cole.
Yeah, no, he loves you. He loves you. So Crowned is a new show.
I love Crown. You look so happy.
Girl,
You look free. No,
I'm
she looks
free.
like you do. Like it shows.
You know why?
I saw you spinning around.
Listen, because we're
With
not.
your Zeta, no, you had a Zeta moment and you was spinning around.
No, that's Sister Circle.
No.
How weird.
Maybe it wasn't. You were spinning and they were like, you have two co-hosts with you?
It's three.
Three co-hosts,
three.
and they were letting you spin. And you were like, yes, get all this fabulousness. And you were spinning.
That's Sister Circle.
It was
Remember
no.
when I did the
It
Zeta
was
show?
Crown. No, I think it was Crown because I remember the name. But you got two things
Well,
going.
Crown.
You're happy.
I'm happy at Crown because we don't have to talk about people's business.
Talk to
It's
them.
so free.
Talk heavy.
Oh, it's so fun.
I said people get mad because they feel
sick
like
of it.
you want to gossip, and I said no. It's just that the role for most black women in media on a show is here. You do the
Here go the
entertainment report,
stories.
and if you want your job or you need a check and you want to be something in
You have to
entertainment,
report on them.
you got to report on it, and then it looks like you're hating when I don't even care.
But we're artists, so of course we don't want to talk about other artists because we are artists and we know half the people that we have to
that we talk about. So you say that on this show, you don't have to
No.
do that, and that is why you look
No,
free.
this is what I really love about Crown because it talks about the topics that our community needs to talk about. Like
Okay.
what we're doing right now, it's a mixture. So you might talk about some if it's pertaining to the community. You know what I'm saying? You
Right.
might talk about some stuff like how we talk about Wendy Williams and we're
Yeah.
talking about black women and the
the
responsibilities.
the voting and how important
the
it
voting
is
and,
and-
stuff like that where we talk about Trump. Okay, that's all inside of politics. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? But where you get stories and your topics are this person went to the skating rink and I don't want to do that. I don't care about these people's business like that. I would rather talk about stuff that pertains to everybody and everything at all
Something
times.
that we can grow from. Now, if
Yes.
something is in the news that everybody's talking about,
we can discuss what
We can discuss
happened.
it, but I'm not gonna be the roving reporter, right?
No.
You know what? I love that.
Yeah.
Where can they see Crowned? When is it
I'm
on?
not sure when Crowned is coming back, late second or third quarter, but it is coming back this year.
Yay.
On In the Black Network, so you just have to download it on your phones.
Okay.
But it's a great show, and I think we're gonna have some different changes, some mix-ups. I think we're gonna add some men, I think.
That would be good.
Which I think would be great.
Don't we always want to?
We
That's why
need
Steve
men.
Harvey won, because he was a man making us feel like he was giving us the inside track to how men think.
Yeah.
So you bringing men on that show is a win, in my
Well,
opinion.
women are over here talking, men over here have podcasts, we're over here talking, and nobody's talking to each other.
Yeah.
So we need to be able to talk to each other to kind of.
Yeah, that's great.
That's your controversy.
Yeah.
The controversy is not in us because, contrary to what people believe, black women we're not sitting around arguing all day. That's not what we're doing.
No.
We don't feel like that. That's boring. So to put us in predicaments and make us argue is actually causing us to be stressed out. Everybody on these reality shows are in a nightmare. I know, because I was on one, and it stresses you out.
And it destroys your personal relationships,
Yes.
your real family,
Yes.
and your real love. And
awful, and causes anxiety and mental anguish and all kind of foolishness. So because it's not natural. It's not our natural way of being.
I love this for you.
Yeah, me too.
That's for you. You command
Something
the
just
stage. Yeah.
And then put me in music and talking normal. I'm not interested in the gotcha bitch moments. I'm not interested in talking about this person business and that. Now, if you ask me a question, I'm gonna answer it. You know,
Right, you always have an opinion.
I'm a grown up, you know,
right,
at the same
but that's
time.
not your.
But I'm not waking up in the morning. Let me see where I can go on social media and argue it, or let me go see if I can comment about this person's business. Let me go to Beyonce page and comment about her country song. You know, no, that's
Which
not.
do you like the song? Did you listen to it?
I'm not a fan of country music. I'm a fan of Beyonce, but I'm not a fan of country music, so it doesn't interest me. I like when Beyonce sings R&B.
I like the fact that she's venturing out and doing something fresh.
I think that she should, and I think people should shut up, because we ain't say nothing when Vanilla Ice came over to hip hop.
I mean,
We ain't say nothing.
they're out of pocket because black people
Yeah.
started country music anyway, whether y'all want to embrace that or do the research.
And
on
there
that.
are country music
We
that are
started
black
it all.
already in it before Beyonce. So
All the genres.
she
And
didn't
K.
do-
Michelle, I liked her song.
I like K. Michelle. See, K. Michelle has been talking about country music for years.
But she's country.
Yeah, and she is country.
She lives that life. That's
she
why I
writes
think.
like a country artist too.
And she enunciates
She enunciates
the words like
Memphis.
this
She's
is what
from
I'm
the South.
saying. So that's why when I
Beyonce's
say
from
Beyonce's
Houston.
song is a little mid for me.
Well, it feels like a R&B singing over a country, maybe a country beat.
Yeah.
But I just don't care for country music at all, and I don't care if you're
who's
Dolly
singing.
Parton.
Yeah, gotcha.
It's just not a genre that I am gonna go and listen to. However, go break records, girl.
Right,
More
yeah.
power to you. I wish you the best.
Yeah.
You're still beautiful. You look great. All that good stuff. But
Right.
it's just not. Call me when you give me, it's music that I'm interested in. I like.
Right.
This is why I like Sade. She never strayed away.
And that right,
She stays in the same. But that doesn't mean she should have.
I mean,
doesn't mean I didn't want her. I would have been mad at her if she would have said I want to do something else. It doesn't mean that. It's just that's what I really liked from her.
And I only reason why I brought that up because I wasn't trying to go into Beyonce bashing if that's what it came off as. But we were talking about your show,
Beyonce.
Crowned.
We were talking about right.
And I was thinking of the Crowned act and that incident in Texas with the young boy who has the locks.
Oh yeah.
And he's not being protected by the Crown Act. And he happens to, that's in Texas.
Yeah.
And so my comment was, meanwhile, she got a whole record saluting the state of Texas. And the Beehives ate my ass all the way up. But it's okay. It's okay.
Well, you put 2 and 5 together and got 8.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
And it's okay.
And that's why they came.
Right. And it's okay.
But you still have the right to have your own opinion. And you have the right to make a statement because you're also a media personality as well. So
yeah, I don't pay that no more. Those kids ain't touching me, choppers. I'm just saying. That it came to mind with the Crown. Was there anything that you wanted to cover that I didn't talk to you about? That I didn't bring up? And,
your gift. You don't even
I
want
got
your
a
gift.
gift. No, I do. I was so into you.
I was joking. I was
I'm
like, you don't even want your gift. We leaving. Well, give it to me so I can give to her.
They can't see. Right. Just dumb. Now you gotta keep it in.
That's crazy. Okay. Voila.
Where did that come from? I'm so glad that nobody handed it to you.
It came out of this door.
Silliness. I love it though.
So, because this is my first time having shirts on the road, I got you a nice gift. My Syleena Johnson custom t-shirts, okay? I got you one because you didn't get to go to the store. Yeah. I mean, you didn't get to go to the show. That's the only place you can get
But that doesn't mean I'm not pulling up to Philly.
Oh, well, you should. We were having a good time.
That's my.
And then I got you my journal. Oh, my latest album.
Nice, thank you.
Because we don't even do CDs in the world anymore, but it's like a collector's album.
But I love something to feel in my hands.
Yeah.
I was just saying this about Master Ace and Eric Sermon. They have
I love Eric Sermon.
Oh.
I just love him. And then my journal.
Oh, I love this picture.
Because
this is hot.
Monsters in the Closet. Thank you very much.
It's artwork.
Monsters in the Closet. I journal because of my therapy. It has pictures and quotes of singing. You will love this because you're a singer.
I want this.
So this is a musical type journal, and it's got all quotes about singing and how it is for us.
I love this. This is inspirational too.
And you can write it all in my like stage pictures.
Is this for sale anywhere? Can they get this on your?
Yes, they can buy this on my website as well,
Which is?
SylenaMusic.com. And also my sister and I have a company called, well, it's her company, but I help her promote it. It's called TheJournalBoutique.com.
Okay.
And it's all kinds of custom journals. So she can make you your own journal as well.
Very nice.
Yes, she's
Yay.
dope. She's got all kinds of stuff, apparel, everything.
I'm happy,
So,
thank you, because I
yes.
love to journal. I do journal.
Oh, you have a good time in this book, and it's got pictures and it's quotes and it's fun.
Thank you, sis. This is a very
Yes,
thoughtful.
you're welcome.
I appreciate it, and I always love my teas.
And take a picture in your tea and send it to me.
I will. I'll tag you in
yes,
it.
yes.
Syleena Johnson.
Hey,
Thank you
You're welcome.
for being the pink champ.
I'm a champ.
Yes, and I'm giving you from our very gracious sponsor a bottle of the Nore.
Yes.
Really good.
Is that
Let
what,
you know,
this is what we're
'cause-
drinking?
mhm.
This is so good. It is. I'm not even a sweet wine person, but this is.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's
really
like a
good.
perfect balance.
Yeah.
Now we're going to indulge in Shawnee's China Soul. When you're in the Teaneck area or even Inglewood or North Jersey area, Bergen County, make sure you stop through. My sis be back there working hard, and
We're getting ready to
food is so
partake
good. Yes.
into her delectables.
Pink Chips! And we out.